Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Spec Esports PS4 Formula 2 Sprint Series. My name is Expert and I'll be your commentator for this morning's race. We are here at the Red Bull Ring located in Spielberg for the Austrian Grand Prix. We have two 50% races, well, two 50% of the feature race and the sprint race this afternoon. The drivers are about to head out for their one-shot qualifying, as you can see on your screens now. Unfortunately, we only have 12 drivers that showed up for this morning's race, so hopefully we can get some good racing out of that. But anyway, coming through turn 1, as you can see, it currently seems to be Banana Josh that is leading the way. I'll go through your standings soon as well when we after the one-shot qualifying. But as you can see, it's currently this man, Banana Josh, that is leading the way. He actually just dropped a few places there as he went through the hairpin, so that's costing him a little bit there. Now it looks like it's Crossy that is leading the way, and now him and Chain Game Wow are going at it, and then it's very close at the moment. And actually, that's Alex. Is that Alex there? That is Alex that has unfortunately made an error at the beginning of the fast left-hander there. I'm not too sure what corner it is. It's these corners around here. Depends who you ask what number it is, but we're going to jump on board as the drivers are coming through the final corner. Gasly's right there as well. They're going to come through the final corner. Open DRS nice and wide. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Gasly, who actually gets pole position with a 1:15.8 if I was correct there. It's a very nice lap there from Gasly as he seemed to get that very late. He just managed to get that in the end. There you go. So this is our provisional qualifying results here. As you can see on the screen, Gasly 10 takes provisional pole position ahead of the Chain Game Wow, rounding out the second row. Then you got the Trident driver of Plebs sitting in P3, right ahead of the Sauber driver of Geordie. Then Banana Josh P5 leading the two Viterci drivers of Crossy and 40. Then the Campos driver of Andre, Ken Tenmar, sitting in P9 at the moment for Trident. Ryan is fat in 10th. 11th is Suma 27, and rounding out your grid for this afternoon's race is the art driver of Alex 96 NZ. Now we're going to quickly have a look, as you can see, for the preview of the Austrian Grand Prix round 6. We're going to try and skip over here to the standings for the last round. For the results for last round. Unfortunately, we've had a few issues with the graphics for the championship standings, so I'm going to try and pull this up because it doesn't seem to be wanting to come up. As you can see on the screen now, there is the results from the last round out at La Castle. I do apologise as well for not being commentating the last couple of races as well. I've had a few things going on with my normal life, so I've been unable to, but I should be able to get back into it now. But anyway, this was the results from the last round. It was Plebs that took the win for the Trident team ahead of the MP Motorsport driver of Useless is a Cat. Gasly 10 in third for Dams. Nice job from him. And the the first Vitersi driver of 40, rounding out your top 4. And then 5th was Flying Jippo for Arc Grand Prix. Sauber of... I can't actually see that. Sauber of... Give me 1 second, sorry. I can't actually see it on my preview screen. Sorry about that. Arianx. It's a bit hard to see. Then you got the Trident of Ken Tenma, Crossy F1 in 8th, Philippi in 9th, 10th, Suma and 11th, Banana Josh F1. But as you can see, well, the drivers are in the background now waiting for... Sorry, are heading over to the grid for their feature race, if I'm correct. I believe we're having a few technical difficulties with the lobby right now, so please do stand by. And we apologise for any inconvenience. Okay, we do apologise. We're going to have to restart the lobby as we are having a few technical difficulties with it. So, please stand by. We will get back to you shortly. Okay, sorry about that delay, everyone. So what we're going to be doing, we'll be redoing the qualifying session. Unfortunately, we had an issue with one of our drivers disconnecting, and it completely glitched the lobby, basically. So we're going to be redoing the one-shot qualifying for this afternoon's Austrian Grand Prix. The drivers are just about to put on their setup, and will be good to go. I do apologise for that delay as well and that issue. There we are. As you can see now, the drivers are heading out for their qualifying session, or their one-shot qualifying session. Coming out of the first corner, looks like 40 and Plebs are right going at it. Everyone being on the super soft tyre. Purple stripe for them. Geordie is now sitting in pole at the moment. He's leading the way. Banana Josh is moving himself up the ranks. Very tight at the front between the top 5 at the moment. No room for error from any of these drivers, or you will be put down to the back. As you can see, that's an error there from Plebs. He did lock the fronts, and that cost him a position, but he's managed to keep it on the track somehow, and he's still leading. Unfortunately, we do not have delta times compared to everyone else with the system we have. Geordie has now taken the lead. Chain game, wow. He's moved up into P2, so there you go. All got to crumb across the line now. Where's everyone going to get up into? Geordie takes pole position ahead of Chain Game. I'm just going to say Chain Game because I'm never going to say that correctly. But he's the only driver that got into the 1 minute 14s was Geordie. So nice lap there from the, I'm trying to think, that's the art driver. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe he's the art driver. I do apologise, I'm not too familiar with the names. I'm sorry, I didn't turn audio on there. But anyway, it's Sauber driver, sorry about that. But it is Geordie that takes pole position. And rounding out the front row with him is Chain Game in the Campos car. Then you got Plevs and 40 rounding out your second row. Third row, Banana Josh and Ghastly 10 for Dams. Then Suma and Kentenma in 7th and 8th for Art Grand Prix and Trident. Then you got Prema and Vitersi drivers of Alex and Crossy, and then rounding out your final row is Ryan is Fat for Arden and the Campos driver of Andre. We are now going to head over to the beach race, if I'm correct. Actually, no, I think this is the sprint race, but anyway, we'll see you in a sec. Can't be serious. I was seriously muted that whole time. I highly apologize for that. I've bumped my hotkey again. Trying to fix some stuff, and I'm muted. I've unmuted it at the start of the race, but unfortunately muted it again. So I've just been commentating to myself the whole time. Jesus. Oh, now I feel so bad. But anyway, what can we do? I'm a bad streamer. Either way, I'm going to go back through everything that I've said about 1,000 times, but you haven't been able to hear it because I've had my mic muted. 40 is currently leading the way, ahead of Chain Game Wow. And now Plebs has got ahead of Andre due to him making an error, I do believe. So now Plebs is now into P3. Actually, no, Crossy has come into the pits now for a set of wet tyres. So he has obviously thought that the conditions are going to worsen from here. So he's thought the wet tyres are the better tyre to use. Unfortunately for Plebs, he had that turn 4 incident with 3. Turn 3 incident with Banana Josh. So he unfortunately had to drop back down the order. He had no way he could have gone, unfortunately. And that's why Banana Josh is unfortunately down a lap. But now Ken Tamar is about to be lapped here by our race leader of 40. Plebs has done a very nice job there to move himself back up into P3, considering the circumstances at the start of the Grand Prix. That's Chain Game running really wide. This is his first race, by the way, may I point out. So he's definitely showing his capability. Who's that driver running wide? I think that's Alex, just trying to get out of the way of the main drivers. Sorry, not the main drivers, the lead lap drivers, I should say. Ken Tenmar's also been lapped here. It doesn't really have to get out of the way due to the fact that your car does ghost. He's going to get past him now. It is Chain Game. I don't think Ken Tenmar, I do believe Ken Tenmar would have just been half throttle there. He caught up to him very quickly. I think he was just trying to get out of the way of the drivers on the lead lap. Players will be catching up to Ken Tenmar very soon. I do believe they are in the same car. Maybe not. Actually, I do think they are. They are in the same car. Is Plebs and Ken Tenmar. Now Andre's in the pit, so he's going to be chucking on a fresh set of wet tyres, I do believe. Let's have a look. That is a set of wet tyres going on the car. Is it? Or dry? That actually is a bit hard to see. But so we're going to see when he comes out of the pits. But Geordie is coming around the final corner now. Andre should comfortably get out ahead of him. I'm going to swap this over to tyres so we can see what tyre everyone's on. So Andre's actually gone to the super soft tyre. So that's very interesting there from the Campos driver. But currently our top 3 are all on the dry tyre. Then it is Crossy on the wet tyre, who has a little bit of a gap to make up to catch up to Plebs. 24 seconds to be correct. He's actually coming in the pits now. Is Plebs. So he obviously thinks the conditions are getting worse and worse now. So the wet tyre is the way to go. Chain Game's also in the pit lane for a fresh set of, I think that was another set of super softs. It was another set of super softs for Chain Game. So will be interesting to see what Plebs actually puts on. You see just the standing water sitting in the pit lane. He puts on the super softs as well. So the conditions definitely don't look as bad as they were a few laps ago, but it's kind of a 50-50 at this point. I think the wet tyres, if anything, will be helping on traction, to be honest, out of the corner. But I think that's probably the only thing they're going to be helping you with, really. They'll be overheating very easily to the wet tyre. Now we're going to have to watch Crossy to see if he manages to make some ground on chain game in the next few laps. He's currently sitting at 10.6 seconds, 10.8 now. So we'll have to watch that interval time to see if he's catching or losing to the drivers ahead of him. But Plebs is right actually on the rear of Crossy, so this will be a definite true test to see which tyre is quicker. You see Plebs is actually much deeper under brakes there. He's definitely struggling, it is Crossy. You would think that Crossy would have the better grip compared to Plebs, but he's running very wide now as Crossy. He's struggling with the traction. He's run onto the curb, moving Plebs back up into P3. So we got to wait for 40 to make a pit stop too, because he has not made a pit stop in this Grand Prix. This was the feature race as well, if I haven't pointed that out, as there was a bit of confusion at the beginning of the race. So we're going to run through your order as there is 4 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. This man, 40, for the Viterci team, leads the way ahead of Chain Game for the Campos team in P2. Then we have Plebs, who has 11 seconds. He's got to try and make up to catch up to Chain Game in the end. Definitely going to be a hard-assing task of him. But anyway, we'll have to see. Then it's Crossy in P4 at the moment, the first of our wet tyre runners. Then Andre, MP5, the other Campos driver. So both Campos and Viterci teams doing alright at the moment. Both those teams have both their drivers in the top 5. Geordie now MP6. Then Ryan is fat in 7 for Arden. Arden? Yes, it is Arden. And Gasly in P8, Ken Tenma in 9th, and rounding out your top 10. Doing a decent recovery drive at the moment is Banana Josh. After that incident he had on lap 5, he runs wide there though. Then Alex, MP11, his teammate for Arc Grand Prix. And then rounding out your top 12 is Suma. Drivers are about to head on to lap 18. He's coming into the pits now as 40, so he's tried to leave it as late as possible, actually. It's going to be interesting. Will Chain Game, I actually think that... Actually, DRS has now been disabled. So, Race Control obviously thinks that it is too wet to be on the wet tyre. So, what will we see 40 put on? This could be a make or break call here for 40. He's put the wet tyre on. So this is going to be a massive gamble for 40. Banana Josh has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he's going to have to serve that. Will 40 come out ahead of Chain Game? It's going to be tight coming on the exit of turn 1. 40 has the inside line, but it is tighter. They're going to come out. Just ahead is 40. But he's going to have the cold tyres. But he is going to be on the wet tyres, which I definitely think will be the faster ones at the moment. We're going to have to look. Is Crossy catching up to Plebs? Not as it is at the moment. So this is definitely going to be one to watch. You can see there, that's Chain Game just struggling to put down the power. Now let's watch 40 coming through here. Let's see how easily he can put down the power. Definitely a lot easier than Chain Game, so it definitely seems the wet tyre is the quicker tyre at the moment. As you can see, look at the gap already that 40 has pulled on Chain Game, as Alex now getting lapped. There's actually a driver that's spun out there. That's Ken Tenma. I do believe he's on the wet tyre, so I'm not too sure what's happened there. But now the leaders are starting the penultimate lap of the Austrian Grand Prix. Plevs now has a 3-second penalty, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's unfortunate there for him. He's going to drop down a few positions. After that nice recovery drive from Plevs, that's just cost him a potential podium, I do believe. I think Gasly and Andre are actually going at it. No, Andre's actually come into the pit lane now. So all the drivers that have not made a pit stop would have had to come in that lap, or they would have been disqualified from the session. Now Crossy and 40. Actually, no, that was just Crossy. That's chain game. I actually think just spun around the exit of turn 4 there. Turn 5 rather. So now let's move Crossy up into P2. Unless Crossy just made a move on him because he is on the wet tyre compared to Chain Game on the super soft. Will Geordie be able to catch up to Chain Game? He's going to be very slow as the Campos driver, but Geordie is on the wet tyre. They are now starting the final lap of the Grand Prix. Andre and Ryan is fat have just swapped positions for P7 and 8. But it is 40 now who leads the way on the final lap of the feature race. Around here at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Definitely hasn't been a breezy win for him at the start of the race, when my mic unfortunately wasn't, when my mic was muted. He was in a tight battle between him, Geordie, Plevs and Gasly. But now Gasly's got another 3-second penalty for corner cutting warnings. But he's going to come across through the final corner now. Is 40. He's going to take the win in the feature race for the Austrian Grand Prix. Congratulations to him. I don't believe he does have any time penalties, but anyway. Crossy is going to come home P2. How close is Geordie? He's definitely caught up to him heaps, but if he had one more lap, I reckon Geordie may have been able to strike it. Chain Game. So that's the gap there. We're going to have a look. See, this is Chain Game coming through the penultimate corner now. And this is Geordie coming through the penultimate corner now. He caught him by over 6 seconds, I do believe, that lap. But anyway. 5 seconds rather, but anyway. I'm going to come across the line now. Chain Game's going to hold on to P3. Assuming he doesn't have any penalties. No, it's okay. Geordie comes home P4. I know Geordie does have time penalties though, but so does Pleb, so they're going to maintain position for P5. Now we're just waiting for Gasly and Andre. Ryan is fat, Ken Tenma, Alex, Banana Josh and Suma. All the drivers been lapped this race. So now we're just waiting for Andre. Gasly's going to come across the line. Finish P6. And he's got another 5-second penalty for an unserved penalty. So he's got about 15, 16 seconds worth of penalties, has Gasly. Now waiting for the Campos driver of Andre to come across the line. And there it is. Andre comes home in P7 for the Campos team. See the drivers heading out to the podium now for their podium celebrations. as you can see on your screens now, the provisional results for the feature race. 40 takes out the win for the Vitersi team ahead of his teammate Crossy. Very nice job there from the Vitersi racing team. Then it's Chain Game in the Campos, rounds out your top 3 on your podium. Then the Sauber driver of Geordie in P4, Plevs in P5 for Trident, Dams driver of Gasly, Campos driver of Andre, Ryan is Fat for Arden in 8. Rounding out your top 9 is Kentanmar. Then rounding out your top 10 is Alex, leading his teammate Banana Josh for the Premier team. Then the Art Grand Prix driver of Suma. Now we're going to head over to the grid for the drivers to start their feature race. Sorry, sprint race rather. I keep getting that mixed up, but you know what I mean. As you can see now, the drivers are heading out for the formation lap of the sprint race. The top 8 drivers who finished in the feature race have their grid positions swapped basically. So Ryan is Fat, who finished P8 in the last race, in the feature race, is now starting on pole position ahead of Entree on the front row. Then it will be Gasly and Plevs, Plevs actually finished P4, and he will start P4 for this race as well. So that's your second row. Then Geordie and Chain Game will be your third row for P5 and P6. And then it is the 2 Vitersi drivers of Crossy and 40 in P7 and 8. Kentenmar in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is Alex, ahead of Banana Josh and Suma. It's going to be interesting too, because the majority of the fast drivers, or the fast third drivers I should say, are at the back of the grid. Sorry, well, midway through the grid. MP8, 40R race winner of the feature race, is sitting MP8 at the moment. If I haven't pointed out already, it is actually raining heavily and all the drivers are on the wet tyre. Just a heads up as well, guys, if you have not signed up for Season 2 of the Spec Esports Regional Series, our Pacific Series, Euro Series, and Americas Series, the sign-up is now open. Go down into the description below and secure your seat for Season 2 of the Pacific Series, Euro Series, or American Series, depending on your region. Drivers are now forming up on the grid. As you can see, the light sequence is about to begin. As you can see, we have 5 red lights ahead of the drivers, and the lights are very quickly out, so that's definitely going to catch a few people out. But Ryan didn't look like he got a very nice start there. He's going to have Andre, and there's actually drivers going wheel to wheel, already making contact. Coming to turn 1, and that's Andre trying to dive down the inside of Ryan. Coming to turn 1, but he managed to see that he was locking the brakes, did Ryan. So now he's going to keep P1 at the moment, but he's going to have a very fast charging Gasly, as we know he is very quick. Unfortunately, he had an incident in the last feature race. He's going to go down the inside of Ryan. He's not playing around now. is Gasly. He moves himself up into P1. And now they're all going at it at the back of the grid. Plebs has now dropped back down to P5. They're all in a very tight battle pack at the moment. But it looks like Geordie is leading that battle pack at the moment. Banana Josh has moved up into P5. He's actually made contact there with Plebs again. So Banana Josh and Plebs have made contact for the second time. It looked like Josh just turned in on Plebs there on that view. But obviously we did not get a certain view on that. So for the second time in a row, I should say, Banana Josh and Plebs have made contact. So Banana Josh, may I point out, started down in P10, I do believe. He's actually moved up 8 positions now, has Banana Josh. So very nice job from him. Already up into P3. Ryan is fat. Unfortunately dropped down to P4. He just said in the group chat that probably the only time he'll be leading a Grand Prix, or in the lead of a Grand Prix, will be this race. But anyway, now he's now dropped to spot 240. MP5, the two Campos drivers right behind him of Andre and Chain Game are getting past him very easily. Ryan has a very bad run on the exit of turn 1, so he's going to have to try and defend his position on Andre. Will he go down the inside, Andre? No, he thinks better of it. Will Ryan? He's actually run very deep though, but he manages just to keep it off the rear of Chain Game. But now Andre's going to lose a spot to Crossy now. Crossy's moved up into P7. This battle pack is actually very tight at the moment. Suma's retired from the session, so I'm not too sure what's happened there with him. That's very unfortunate there for the art driver. But now Crossy's moved up into P6. And he's actually put it in the wall now, has Crossy. So I think he actually made a bit of contact there with Ryan. Has he got any front wing damage there on the entry of turn 4? You're going to have to look here. Visually, it didn't look like he had any front wing damage, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't. Plebs is now caught up to the back of this train, so he's going to be trying to make as many moves as he can. He's moved himself up ahead of Alex. But it is Gasly that leads the way of this Grand Prix at the moment. Geordie now sets the fastest lap at 25.4. I do believe that just said. Ahead of Geordie at the moment, who is not letting Gasly get away. Banana Josh is right there as well. He's done a very nice job in the opening laps, moving himself up into the top 3 from P10. Sitting in P4 at the moment. Our feature race winner. So he's going to have a little bit of work to do to catch up or get up into those top 3 positions. Then Chain Game leading his teammate at the moment in P6, who just managed to get ahead of Crossy did Andre. Crossy is now in 7th. Plebs is in 8, who's going to not be stuffing around here, trying to make a move on Crossy ahead of him. Runs deep though. Struggling to get on the power is Plebs. Andre definitely seems to be holding these two drivers up at the moment, of Crossy and Plebs. Still struggling to put the power down is Plebs. Needs to be a little bit more smoother on the gas pedal. But anyway, now starting lap 4 of this Grand Prix. 10 laps remain in the sprint race. 40 now sets the fastest lap, so he's catching up to Banana Josh. All these front 4 are all splitting up except for 40. He's catching up to the Prema driver of Banana Josh. Chain Game trying to make some inroads on 40 ahead of him. Andre's now got a little bit of a gap to Crossy, so Crossy may have had a little mistake there. Plebs is still trying to get past the Viterci driver of Crossy. Runs deep though does Crossy, so will he be able to make a move coming into turn 3 rather. No DRS available as it is too wet. The conditions are too wet. Ken Tenma and Alex go side by side coming into turn 3, battling for P10 at the moment. He's going to try and hang it around the outside. Is Ken Tenma. Will he get the move done? I think he actually just got that move done. No, he didn't. He's still got Alex down his inside. He's going to have the shorter route though. Is Alex. Will he be able to keep it? Can Tenma? No, he's unfortunately got to pull back behind the Prema driver. Definitely going to be a battle to watch towards the end of the race. But Crossy now is actually right back on the rear of Andre. He's running really wide now as Andre. Geordie sets the fastest lap. A 1:25.8 for Sauber. You can see that's Andre there getting a lot of wheel spin on the curb. Will he dive down the inside? Plebs coming to turn 1. He's going to think about it. No, he doesn't. He's really deep though. Here's Plebs. He's going to try and use all the entry curb to get the best run possible. He's going to have the better traction out of the first turn. Going to move it right over to the right to not make any possible contact there with Andre. He now moves up into P7, does Plebs. I definitely think there will be a few heated words between Plebs and Banana Josh at the end of the race due to them making contact in the feature race and the sprint race on the opening few laps. But now Crossy has 4.2 seconds. He's got to try and make up to catch up to Chain Game. 40's not catching Banana Josh at the moment, but Geordie, I think, is catching up to Gasly. So they're all sitting at the same amount of gap at the moment. They're not gaining or losing on each other. You can see the drivers are actually coming into the pits now, so they obviously think it's dry enough to come onto the dry tyres now. I actually didn't even realise it stopped raining. DRS is now enabled for the Grand Prix, so definitely every driver will most likely be in this lap. Let's see, I actually think every driver is in this lap. So every driver on the grid at the moment has come in for a pit stop. Now this is the problem for Banana Josh. He's been held in the pit lane. He's unfortunately got to drop back behind 40. So 40 has jumped him in the pits. He's not going to be happy with that. Is Banana Josh. Ryan's actually stayed out an extra lap as well. So that's why he is currently leading the Grand Prix. He will lead another lap of the Grand Prix, but runs very deep, as these wet tyres will be overheating very easily. Gasly struggling to get some heat into the tyres. Same as Geordie. Now 40 and Banana Josh are going at it. A little pit lane exit battle here. Haven't seen one of these in a while. But 40 manages to keep the position in P4 ahead of Banana Josh. Chain Game now in P5. Plebs. Sorry, P6 rather is Chain Game. P7 is Plebs. P8 is Alex, who ran really wide on the exit of turn 3. He's now going to have turn 2 rather. Crossy going to go down his inside coming into turn 3. Will he get the move done? Crossy's deeper under brakes and he has the inside line. They both lock up the brakes, but Crossy manages to get the move done. There was yellow flags in sector 2. I'm not too sure what that was for. Not too sure, but now as you can see, our race leader comes into the pit lane. Ryan is fat. He's going to drop down a few positions, so this is going to move everyone up a position. Gasly now passes him into the lead of the Grand Prix. So we're going to get a reading on the gaps between Gasly and Geordie in a second. 1.779 of a second between our two race leaders. 40 now into P3 ahead of Banana Josh, who jumped him in the pit lane. Nice strategy or nice job there from 40's Vitersi crew. Now Chain Game in the Campos car. He's going to be wanting to catch up to Banana Josh. Runs very deep though, still struggling to get some heat into those soft tyres. I do believe it's soft. I can have a look. It is the softs. It's a bit different for F2, the tyre colours sometimes, so I'm better off just checking than being wrong. Plevs now has his eyes on Chain Game ahead of him. He has 4.7 seconds. He's got to try and make up. to get ahead or move into P5. Gasly is now setting fastest lap, so 1 minute 29.5, and now 40 is now set at 29.0, I think that says. Don't quote me on that. It's a bit hard to see. Now Plebs goes fastest in the Grand Prix for Trident. Definitely going to be tight between our front runners coming towards the end of the Grand Prix. Chain Game's catching up to Banana Josh. Gasly managing the lead of the Grand Prix very nicely at the moment, keeping at that 2.5 second mark very comfortably. The Chain Game is definitely catching up to Banana Josh. So we could potentially see a change of position for P4 eventually. Gasly now sets the fastest lap. Geordie quickly takes that away from him. Then 40 takes that away from him. So all these front three drivers, that actually means that they're all converging on each other. Plebs is now fastest. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. We're going to have a look to see what that was for. And that's actually Alex, who's unfortunately spun around on the exit of turn 5. So he may potentially drop a position to Ken Tenma here. Ken Tenma is a little bit too far behind, unfortunately. 5 laps remain in this sprint race. As you can see, by the interval timings, 40 is actually catching up to Geordie now. Geordie's not catching up to Gasly though, as now Geordie has now got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. You see these two drivers going fast again, Geordie and 40. So they are all actually converging on each other at the moment, if anything. But Gasly still has a bigger gap between him and Geordie compared to 40 and Geordie. Chain Game now has actually got ahead of Banana Josh for P4. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that on stream. I do apologise for that. But Plevs is now going to have his eyes on Banana Josh, trying to get himself back up into that top 5 position. Top 5 placings. No other real battle packs. Well, there's no actual real battle packs on track at the moment. There's 4 laps remaining in the sprint race. So once 40 can get that time on that interval under 1 second, I definitely think with that DRS assistance that will gain him closer and closer to Geordie ahead of him. It's currently just over 1 second at the moment. He's not going to have DRS here on the main straight. Gasly goes fastest now. Geordie goes fastest. And does 40 go fastest? No, he doesn't actually. 40 now is a 3-second penalty as we just witnessed him cut that turn 1 curb. So now as you can see, the gap between Gasly and Geordie is down to 1.7. Last lap it was around 2.3. So he's actually caught up around 5/10 of a second now. Just over 5/10 of a second has Geordie. So the front three are all converging on each other. Chain Game is actually a little bit too far behind at the moment to catch up to that battle pack. Plebs and Banana Josh. Plebs is catching up to Banana Josh. He just has to get within his DRS, and that should edge Plebs that little bit closer to the rear of the Prema car. As you can see, the sun is coming out, so that will dry off all the standalone water on the track. Mixed conditions here for the F2 Sprint Series here at the Austrian Grand Prix. If you guys are new around here, please do hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications to get notified whenever the stream goes live. You see 40 and Geordie did just go fastest there, but 40 ended up going faster than Geordie. Banana Josh has got a 5-second penalty, and so has Plebs for corner cutting, but Plebs has now got DRS on Banana Josh, so he actually was much deeper under brace. There was Plebs. Ryan is Fat also has a 3-second penalty. He's going to have DRS now, is Plebs, and he's going to have a slipstream on Banana Josh. He's actually catching him at a pretty fast rate of knots. Will he try and do a very late dive bomb? Daniel Ricciardo dive bomb? No, he thinks better, but he's going to sit behind him. Narrowly misses the rear gearbox of Banana Josh. Josh definitely seen, as you can see on your screen, struggling with that rear traction. He's going to have DRS again, is Plebs. Unfortunately, he won't be able to make a move on this lap. He'll have to sit behind him for another lap. Probably will be able to get the move done next lap if he can sit within that DRS range. Geordie will now have DRS on the race leader if he can get it under a second. It's still just marginally sitting over a second. I actually think 40 may potentially get it, but anyway, we'll have to see. I don't think Geordie will have DRS. No, he does not have DRS on this particular lap. But if someone actually does, then that's 40. So 40 has just managed to get within that DRS range of the driver in P2. So this is going to edge him closer and closer. And now we actually missed this little battle here, but Plebs has now got ahead of Banana Josh. But he's going to have DRS as Banana Josh, so will he be able to make a move? Coming into turn 2, he runs wide on exit and doesn't get the traction off the corner. He's actually spun around now as Banana Josh on the exit of turn 1. So that's unfortunate there for the Prema driver. You have to try and get back on track as quickly as possible. It's going to be tight between him and Crossy coming into turn 4. Will he get the move done? Crossy. Will he defend the inside Banana Josh? No, he doesn't. Just keeps the position on Crossy, but Crossy's going to have the DRS on Josh. He won't have any damage with Banana Josh, but he will have a lot of heat in those tyres. He's going to go down the inside. Crossy later under brakes, and he gets the move done. On Banana Josh, they make wheel-to-wheel contact. They're going to go side-by-side, coming through this right kink here. He's going to try and hang it around the outside. Crossy, no, but Banana Josh manages to get the better traction. He's going to try and get back down the inside, though, for turn 6, but was unable to make the move stick. So Banana Josh keeps that position for 4 now. But now Geordie is right on the rear of Gasly, as he does have DRS. 40 does have DRS as well, but is unfortunately not catching it a fast rate of knots. Will he dive down the inside? Geordie's deeper under brakes. Will Gasly leave in the room? No, he shuts the door. So that forces Geordie to back out of that move. Andre has a 3-second penalty, but now Geordie will have DRS. Gasly defends the inside line, so he's going to have to force Geordie to the outside. They're going to go side by side, coming into turn 3. Who's going to be deeper under brakes? It looks like it is Gasly, and he manages to keep the position. So 40 is going to be wanting to catch up to this little battle pack here as quickly as possible if he wants any chance at winning this Grand Prix. They're still going side by side, coming into turn 5, and he now pushes him out wide. Does Geordie manages to get the run there on the exit of turn 3. Very nice job there from Geordie. So now he's moved himself up into the lead of the Grand Prix, and that was actually 40 getting a lot of oversteer, and he's put it in the wall, has 40. The Fatersi drivers completely lost it on the exit of turn 6 rather. So now Changa, he's going to have to come in for a potential pit stop. It's actually the last lap of the Grand Prix, and now Gasly spun around on the final corner. I didn't actually even realise it was the last lap of the Grand Prix, so I think Gasly would have tried to make a move there on Geordie, but it is Geordie that wins the sprint race of the Austrian Grand Prix. Chain Game now moves himself up into P2 after all the time penalties. So Geordie takes the win of the sprint race here in the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of Chain Game, who finished in P5 but overall finished P2 with the time penalties added to the drivers ahead of him. Then Gasly finished P3 ahead of 40 in P4, Plevs in P5, P6 for Crossy, Banana Josh in P7 after all the time penalties. He's dropped down there. Ryan is Fat in P8, Andre P9, rounding out your top 10 will be Alex, 96, and Zed. Coming through the final sector now is Ken Tenma, who will come across the line to finish P11 in this Grand Prix. Suma, unfortunately, our one and only retirement in this Grand Prix. But that has been your Austrian Grand Prix. Congratulations to all our podium getters. You see them heading out onto the podium now. Now we're going to have a look at your provisional results here. Actually, we can see here, so the results for the sprint race I already just read out to you, but we're going to look at the overall results of the weekend. 40 takes out the win of the Grand Prix ahead of Geordie for MP2 for the Sauber team. Nice job there. And now, as you can see, the two Viterci drivers in the top 4. Nice job there from them. Campos driver of game, so Chain Game, MP3, Camp Crossy, MP4, P5, Gasly for Dams, Trident driver, Odd Plebs, comes home P6 for the weekend. P7 is Andre, P8 is Rhinus Fat for Arden, Ken Tenmark comes home P9, and then rounding out your top 10 is Banana Josh, leading his teammate in P11 of Alex 96 and Zed. Then Suma, unfortunately with that retirement in the sprint race, has dropped him down to P12. But that has been your Austrian Grand Prix for the Race Spec Esports F2 Sprint Series. My name is Expert, and I will see you guys next time. If you guys are wanting to sign up for Season 2 of the Regional Series, there is a link in the description for you to sign up. We have already got over 100 drivers signed up already, and we've only had it open for about 3-4 days. But my name is Expert, and I will see you guys next time.